So setting up things very much the same way. Made some rule changes to the simple mass combat. The faction leaders now and the knights are going to deploy together with the medium horse over here on the left. On the opposite side, it's about the exact same setup. We've changed the artillery rules. When I say we, again, this is the royal we. I've changed the artillery rules so that they can inflict up to 3 blows on the faction leader. So what happened last time with the cannon fire could be replicated, but it would not kill the faction leader. Similar thing with the morale score. So the reason why I'm having these brigaded together, the knights and the medium horse, is the 50% morale rule, which does go back to Bath and Featherstone. Anyway, some other things, bowfire, I'm allowing 2 ranks to fire, and so long as somebody passes in front of them, they've got the ability to shoot twice in a turn. So very much bringing that up more chainmail style. And lastly, I made it clear that the first shot from an artillery piece will always go off, but it's after that that there are only even chances that it's reloaded. So that takes a little bit of the sting out of the artillery, not much. Made siege engines, if it's counter siege fire, it takes 2 of the blows, so you've got to roll 2 pips or better on those disadvantage D6s. Anyway, getting started here. Okay, so the peasants move very much as the last time. The bowmen here did not move up quite as far as last time because I've got them in line. I didn't want to mask the artillery fire. I then took the artillery shot. Because his point of aim was the leader, he was trying to take out the leader, he rolled a 5 and a 2. That means that he has to take the lower, which is 2 pips. He must place at least one of those blows on the leader, is my interpretation of the rules. But the other one does kill another man. So turn 2 went pretty well. We had no bowfire because these guys moved up. These guys actually stayed pat, which drew the horsemen all the way to the military crest of the hill. They positioned themselves. They used some of their movement, making sure they would not be subject to bowfire on the next turn. Carts moved up. The main thing that changed is these bowmen stood fast and were able to shoot at the approaching light swordsman, but no real effect there. I did allow artillery, and that was during the movement segment prior to melee. They got no shot after the melee took place, of course. Oh, they should have had a second shot. Hang on a second here, because they would have got, nope, because once they were in contact, that would have counted as melee, so correct. But I did give the artillery a shot. The artillery was loaded. They shot again at the leader, inflicting 1 blow upon him, but the leader took no other blows, so no big deal there. And it did kill 1 other unit. Then there was some blows by the medium footmen, the heavy footmen here, the spearmen on the Viking side. They did do some damage. Then there was some counter movement, so these guys wrapped around. And the upshot of it is that 1 guy killed on the peasant side, 1 guy taken prisoner on the peasant side, 2 guys killed on the heavy foot Viking side. No morale checks. Actually, interesting situation. So because they must give up a guard for that prisoner, that would take them down. So I'm going to force a morale check on the Vikings, but it does say that those are Viking footmen and they are once in melee. So really the only way they will fail, because they're berserking right now, is if I rolled, unfortunately, a 12. Oh, holy cow. What are the odds? That's pretty stupefying. Yeah, 6 and 6. Oh, false alarm. The rules say snake eyes, and so, yeah, snake eyes would have been a failure. This is a tremendous success. They'll stay. Same thing, they are outnumbered 2 to 1. The 2 to 1 rule comes into effect, I think, on the next turn, because Let's take a look at the morale rules. Some portion of the faction's men are outnumbered 2-1 at the end of a turn of melee. No, that's two conditions that require a morale check. I think I'm going to have to throw the dice twice here just to be fair. So, again, Snake Eyes fails. Huh. That's crazy. I got double fives. A big roll coming up right now for the archers on the left. The horsemen tried to get off the hill, but did not have sufficient movement to get into contact. So the bowmen will get 2 shots. They get 1 dice for every 3 men. There are 2 ranks of archers there. There are 18 men, so that's 6 dice 2 times. So we're going to, I guess, get out 12 dice here. I mean, technically, there might be an instability check, so I guess let's hold off on that. Let's just do the first one. This would have been the shots during the movement portion of the round. Okay, and it looks like 1 hit. We're going to take a look at the rules here for bowmen. It says that bow fire, every 3 figures firing, longbowmen get a 1 pip advantage. Oh, 1 pip advantage for longbowmen that I added here. So, and then these are shooting at armored targets, so they need 6s. There is only 1 5 that would get bumped up to a 6, so 1 hit. That would not have caused any kind of instability. Archer fire does not cause prisoners. Same thing for siege fire. So we're just going to remove 1 at this point from over here on the side. Take that off. That was for the movement portion. Now we're going to do the bow fire portion. So we're going to swap out our dice pool. Maybe these dice are going to... That's good. That's the second roll. Ooh, that's a lot of 6s. Huh. So those get bumped up. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4 kills. Wow, that's a lot. 4 kills. So let's take off 4 more. 1, 2, 3, 4. That definitely is going to cause an instability roll. Wow, that is a massive change in how it went last time. That's what happens when you get caught by a massive set of longbowmen, even if they're peasants. Oh, that's right. Peasants should be -1. Maybe I should take off 1 for that. Yeah, let's give them back 1. Actually, why would peasant archery be anywhere? It's in melee where peasants really suck. I'm going to leave it as is. Okay, so that's 4. So even peasant archers are kind of a danger you got to steer clear of. All right. Instability. That entire group now is potentially unstable. It's a mixture of the faction leader, a medium horse, and 2 heavy horse. And the faction leader, when traveling with knights, bumps up to knights. So it's 3 heavy horse and a medium horse. What is morale check? And the morale check doesn't depend on troop category. It depends on faction category. So morale check. This is going to be Vikings. 3 or below fails. So I'm going to roll for the medium horse, and I'm also going to roll... Yeah, it was just the medium horse that took all that damage. So... got a 2. 2 is a 3 or below, which did fail, so that medium horseman is now gone off the table. Well, potentially. What does he do? So number 5. Number 5 is rally in place. Troops may not move the next turn, but may fire or defend themselves. So he's pretty much stationary. All right. Interesting. Melees, I'll handle that in a moment. So turn 4, this unit of swordsmen had to retreat. To do that, it took 2 inches of movement to disengage. This unit of heavy foot got their blows to the back. Then this unit of archers was able to fire during the movement segment when these guys were disengaging. And then finally, off to the right, our good friends, the siege engine over here, was able to take a shot. Yes, that is 30 inches. So even at the completion of movement, that unit was in range. So quite a lot of men were eliminated. They did, however, roll for their morale check and succeed. They've still got their leader with them. So yeah, not looking good so far for these guys. I might detach that leader and have him do a heroic challenge. Anyway, the medium horse that had to stand fast here were subject to withering missile fire from up close. And even if I was to subtract out the peasants, there were still 2 6s rolled, so two kills, no prisoners taken on missile fire or artillery fire. The last thing that happened was that I moved forward the 2 knights and the unit commander, who, since he's accompanying knights, is also treated as a heavy horse. They got into melee with the spearmen. The spearmen lost 2, then they did the fill-in and did their counter blows. And it's very lopsided. Since the spearmen are lightfoot peasants, their chances of hitting are basically near 0. And the heavy horse automatically hit, unless some other modifier applies, like fighting uphill, which does not in this case. That's the end of turn 4. It does look like the Vikings have lost quite a lot, but they might at least be able to drive one more unit from the field before they are forced to retire.